Yes, my people, it's good to be back on this Sunday. Once again, welcome back to the Reggae Boyz Weekly. Boy, people, may I tell you the Euros tournament, some exciting games recently in the knockout phase. That Turkey game, Netherlands, wonderful game. Tell you, um, quality teams. I was impressed by so many players across that game. And the Dutch they went through, and I think deservedly so. I think after being 1-0 down, they worked their socks off to get back into the game, and they deserved all 3 points. You know what I'm saying? Well, not 3 points, but they deserve to go through to the next round, which is the semi-final, I believe it is. So yeah, and they will be facing off against England. But we have so many things to talk about pertaining to the Reggae Boys, and joining me once again is Dicanio, the Arsenal fan, the man where him say Arsenal go win the Prem next season. So we just have to wait and see. How are you, bro?
There, fam. And just to touch back on Euros, brilliant semi-finals again. But the same could not be said for Copa America. Brazil crashes out. Um, Jamaica just broke vibes. Reggae Boyz broke vibes. Brazil broke vibes, and Arsenal broke vibes. It stink, brother. Being a football fan right now and supporting them three team, yeah, worst thing to bombard. Worst thing.
Man, tell you, the Brazil game and Uruguay game was a dreadful game. Like, man, I tell you, like, and the attacking forefront, like, it just poor. And to be honest, Brazil, they have been poor throughout this tournament. And even the win against Paraguay, like, bro, I just lapse in defense make Brazil even demolish Paraguay like that. You get me? I say, because any other team hold Brazil the right way, them would get a point against Brazil. So even the Brazil display against Paraguay, partially that display, like, that helped Brazil to get the 3 points. So it was down to Vinicius having a good game, but it was also down to Paraguay having a poor defensive display. But throughout the tournament, they haven't been impressive. And even before the tournament, you hear the legend Ronaldinho saying that these guys aren't good. And me tell a man today, say, yo, if Rich, I know that Richarlison is not playing in this Copa America, but if Richarlison and Andreas Pereira and them when they can make Brazil side, they know say Brazil them no good again like one time. You see me?
Bro, I know. So the problem, as much as Andrea Pereira, them man they can make a side for real then. Yeah, but Richarlison, enough people ever call for Richarlison, but him always perform for the national teams,
I mean, true,
and
but
one thing. And at the end of the day, too, the reason why Brazil play so is because they now have an out-and-out striker for playoff.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. So Richarlison to me would actually make a huge difference. And the next thing as well, everybody a call for Neymar head and see there without Neymar is like the side can't tick, bro. The side I look for somebody for be the man. And if you even look on it, most of these international teams or the international teams that have won things over the past, more than say 10 years or so, them look to an individual for be the man. Messi, them look to Argentina in the last World Cup for be the man. France look to Mbappe, even though them have other stars, them look to the player for you are the man for do this for you. You see me?
Yeah. That is true. That is true. Chef and Pierre, big up yourself. People, if you're just joining, please go ahead and hit that like button. And before we get into the topics for today, we have to give you guys the intro.
It's time to rise up. Stand and take your place. Rise up.
Shine like the sun.
Rise up, rise up.
The journey has just begun. Rise up.
Yes, people, once again, before we get into the topics, like, share, and subscribe. Hitting that like button is the most important things on both respective platforms. Please go ahead and hit that like button. But Dicanio, listen, bro, so many things to talk about today surrounding Kyle Butler, Leon Bailey, Demarai Gray, as well as Bobby Reed. But more so Kyle Butler, because he did an interview recently in which he said some really interesting things surrounding Leon Bailey as well as the Reggae Boyz team. Kyle Butler basically went ahead to call the English-based players with Jamaican heritage flops, or well, not flops, rejects. He basically called them rejects. He said that when Jamaica goes for these England rejects, and he said that in a recent interview. I think that interview was like a day ago, so we're going to talk about that. And I feel like many people will disagree with Kyle Butler with some of the things that he said, and even some of the things that he also stated will be news to some people in terms of this is new information for some of you guys whenever I play the clip for you guys. But before we get into that, I have to big up Bobby De Cordova Reed, who recently signed for the Foxes. And if you watch the Premier League week in, week out, you know who the Foxes are. Leicester City. They won the league back in the 2015-2016 season. And, Leicester City, they went on their Instagram page, they confirmed it by posting Bobby De Cordova-Reid. And it's a free transfer out of contract. We reported that a couple weeks ago. I mean, throughout before the season even finished, Dicanio and I, we were reporting on the contract situation surrounding Bobby De Cordova-Reid. So now he's a Leicester City player. And, we wish Bobby nothing but the best. Fulham, they really wanted to keep Bobby, but, talks surrounding the contract, it collapsed, and then he went ahead to sign for Leicester City. And you had quite a few clubs that was interested in Bobby Reid. I think those clubs were Leeds as well as Everton as well. And if I look at things now, as how things stand, I think Leicester City for me, obviously, is the best option for Bobby Reid. Really ambitious club, compared to the likes of Everton, who they're going to fight in relegation. If you ask me, where will Leicester City sit next season in terms of will they be scrapping for relegation or whatever the case is? I don't think so. I think having players like Jamie Vardy in the leader that he is, as well as many other players and players that they're going to bring in. I think for me, Leicester City, I think is the right fit for Bobby De Cordova-Reid. Dylan, well, not Dylan. Dicanio, let me get your thoughts surrounding Bobby signing for Leicester City.
Yeah, I think it's a good signing, bro. Leicester is gonna be up safely, I believe. I think there's just one key thing. They need to replace Kieran Andrews with a wicked player. And when Granit Xhaka was leaving Arsenal, I looked at him because I'm 6 up me 9 different, bro. Even though he did a play and he did in a relegation 13 team, we've seen whole heap of players leave from a relegation 13 team to a title winning team and them suit right in, right? And he's one of those players who I felt could have done that. So I was looking at Kieran Andrews to replace Granit Xhaka in Arsenal's team. But it never worked out and him go and him have a brilliant season for Leicester. He was the man in their midfield. So we're to come up into the Premier League and lose that man in your midfield, you're going to need to replace him. But yeah, going back to Bobby Reid, is a good signing. He's at a very good club that will want to play good football. And they're winners. That's one thing that is instilled into this Leicester City mentality and their club. They have won a Premier League, they have won an FA Cup, and I believe they have won a Community Shield as well. So and that's within the past so much 10 years, 8 years. So yeah, bro, coming back up, they will have a mentality not only to stay up but to remain in the Premier League and to be shooting up to the levels that they were in 2017, back into the Premier League space, into the Champions League, European spaces. So yeah, I think initially their main aim is to become that Premier League regular, to easily not they wouldn't want to be in a relegation scrap at all going into next season. And I don't think they will be in a relegation scrap. However, I think they're just coming up to make a statement and let people remember who the hell Leicester City is. Yeah. Bobby Reid is a very good project for him on the latter side at 30 now. It's next big contract this is. Or his last big contract, I should say, this is. So it's a very good move for him. And hopefully we can see him have a good season like he did last season, scoring some goals and making an impact on this Leicester team to stamp back their claim in the Premier League.
Yeah, and the leadership that he's going to bring as well. And, we even saw a video from Fulham on their YouTube page, a tribute to Bobby Reid. And honestly, bro, the man scored some quality goals. The way that he says like a signature, like the goals him scores like a signature type of move for him, Dylan, you're just joining us. Big up yourself. What do you think about Bobby Reid signing for Leicester City?
Yeah, I heard you call my name, so then I guess my data is moving strong enough. Yeah, no, I think it's the best move for him. We spoke about it a couple weeks ago. So I feel like, as Dicanio said, Leicester is the perfect team for him because they have the ambition, and I think it'd be a good last dance for him. I think he has all the quality. I don't know how exactly they're going to deal with the midfield situation because I hope he doesn't go from playing in the Reggae Boyz with no midfield to playing with Leicester with no midfield. But yeah, I think he's a perfect Leicester type player, humble. Leicester players are always humble, good personalities. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But I hear you on that. But once again, people, like, share, and subscribe. Also leave your thoughts in the comment section. But once again, hit that like button, and we'll see you guys in the comment section. Just big up some people. Dr. Dan, big up yourself. Chevron Pierre, big up. Fabian Full, I should say. Big up yourself himself. Hopefully, Brandon Cover gets some playing time with the Foxes, so we can get a call up for Jamaica. Great young midfielder. And we just have to wait and see. And pertaining to our call up, obviously there will be a new coach in the future. So the Reggae Boys will be heading in a different direction in terms of what does that coach want when that time comes around. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the players that we're calling for, maybe the coach isn't in favor of some of these guys, just like how Jaime Hallgrimsson wasn't in favor with some of these not say obviously like he would have wanted a Greenwood and Reece Nelson or whatever the case is, but a lot of the times us as fans call for certain players that are not selected, and the coaches they have their reasons. Some coaches just don't favor some players, but once the player fits in the system, then I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? But one more thing I want to head into is this recent article from FIFA, and it surrounds Demarai Gray did an interview, and he was just talking about the World Cup or the upcoming World Cup in 2026, and the headline is Jamaica are trying to recreate memories of 1998. England-born winger. Is this even on screen? Yeah. So it says England-born winger opens up on Jamaica's World Cup qualifying hopes and how the Reggae Boys can reach the finish line. And obviously, people, the finish line is making it to the World Cup in 2026. So I'm just going to go through some key points surrounding this article. So one question was, what are your thoughts on Jamaica's start to the World Cup qualifying? And as we all know, he did not participate in those two games as he was out with an injury. Demarai Gray response was, there's no better start than 2 wins, and I feel like we just have to continue that in the rest of qualifying. The World Cup is something that we're eager to reach, so it's a great start, and now we just have to maintain that level of performance. And World Cup qualifiers, the games resume in 2025. And next point was what lessons can you take from Copa America and apply to qualifying? Demarai Gray went on to state, I think it has shown us that there is more quality out there at international level, and no matter the team, there are quality players and quality competition. That goes for us as well. We have quality players. It's just about putting it together and developing. I've said it many times. I think we're a work in process. The improvement has been there, and I think there's a lot of improvement to come. Personally, I am excited. So Gray's stating that the team they need to improve, but he has seen improvement, and he's excited for the future as well as the team will improve further. And this thing about heritage players, this question was posed to him. There's a lot of talk of more heritage players joining Jamaica. Are you sensing an excitement that players want to play for Jamaica? As we all know, the potential players are like the Greenwood, Reece Nelson. What's the left back that plays for Crystal Palace? Tyreek
Mitchell.
Mitchell. Just to name these players, because they're always on the radar of the Jamaica Football Federation or any coach. Great response was, there's always talk of guys potentially joining Jamaica, but what we have in this group is good. What we have in this group is good too. We have good togetherness here within the group. So whatever players we choose or call up is down to the federation. But what we have got in the squad now, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it, and it's a great environment to come to work in. So interestingly, he's saying it's a good environment to work in, contrary to popular belief. I mean, there are some players in the squad, or one specific player would state that the environment is not good, or whatever the case is. We all know who that player is, but Grace basically stating that anyhow these players come, it's still a good environment to work in, despite the flaws of the JFF or the flaws in the infrastructure. I mean, you still have football to play at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? If you look at many countries across the globe, if them they just look at it from an infrastructure point of view, like we don't have no good pitch or no good training facilities, them won't even qualify for a competition because them already give up before them even try. You know the way they. I mean, Jamaica, we're further in our development compared to many other countries, especially in terms of infrastructure. And I've heard Mr. Speed on different programs state that you have many Caribbean countries who are jealous of Jamaica in terms of the structure and the development that we have with our football program. It might not be the best, bro, but come on. You know what I'm saying? It's still something that can be respected, But what you guys have to say surrounding this article and Demar Gray? and his thoughts surrounding the potential of Jamaica qualifying for 2026 World Cup.
Professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep it. Bro, as a footballer, as a professional footballer, when you go on interviews, you don't want to make a scene of interviews. You want people to get as little from it as possible to go and run with and spin a narrative. So you just kept it simple. It's clear and it's evident that these were media trained responses. Very short, very simple, very obvious. And yeah, you can't as a media person, you can't take nothing from this and say, oh, you're gonna spin it, or you can't take nothing from this and say, oh, was he trying to say this or did he hit at that person? No. Yes, I mean just keep everything professional and keep it simple. Do your media duty and you're going back to football, focusing on your football. And a whole lot of Jamaican players can take something out of his book, a page out of his book, on how to do an interview and how to basically just quell certain questions.
And to add to that as well, one more thing. FIFA asked him, what would it mean to qualify for the World Cup? It's a dream for me to participate in a World Cup, a competition you watch as a kid. I just think that for the boys and the nation, it would be massive. I think we deserve it, and we are going to work our hardest to get there. So, I mean, even though we don't have a coach at this moment in time, Hallgrimson has departed this position. But regardless of who the coach is, they're going to work hard because that is the dream for majority of these players. 100%, the Blakes of the world, Kahim Dixon, Demarai Gray himself, Bobby Deb Cardova, Reed, Damian Lowe, all of these players want to play in the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget, this is the World Cup. We watch this on our TV every 4 years, and remember, Jamaica, the last time we were in the World Cup was in 1998. Other than that, we support Brazil or France or whatever the case is. So it would be a joy for us as fans as well to watch our country, especially the younger generation in like me and you. Well, we never born them time to watch Jamaica or born before them time to watch Jamaica and the 98 World Cup. So for a lot of us, it would be a joy as well as for the older folks as well to see that repeat in terms of Jamaica playing in the World Cup. And what better way to play in the World Cup in 2026 in America? It's in our backyard basically. You have the diaspora already established in America, plus you have Canada over there. So yeah, Mexico, we don't need a visa for go. You see me? So Dylan, share your thoughts before we jump into the next topic.
No, Dicanio stole the word that I was going to say. Is professional. He's the modern professional, and there's so many. As we're going to talk about another person that even if he played, I think it was one game for the under 23s, could take could take a page out of Demarai Gray's book. I think when you go to the media, I think for people like us that want to interview players like this, of course it'd be good for us because it gives us things to talk about and things to study. But yeah, with Demar, he's just saying that we have more to do, we have more to grow, and qualifying for Copa America is one thing, but yeah, I don't have nothing to fault Demarai Gray on. He turns up, he was injured, he rallied back, and he uses his Instagram to encourage fans. So I enjoy having him around, and maybe we can see him in the Premier League again.
Yeah.
So we take some comments before we move on.
Yeah, can do that, yes. And even pertaining to that, say that Demarai Gray is heavily linked with a return to the Premier League. Southampton is one club that is interested in him. But we could take some comments quickly. Nitro 69, big up yourself. Yeah, Kyle Butler's English rejects are smart and articulate. Demarai Gray being one, right? Owen, big up yourself.
Big up.
Big up yourself as well. Did big up Fabian Full. BM, I think Kyle is still in his feelings. He didn't make it as a footballer. He talks too much. You see me? So we're gonna get into that right now. But before we do, once again, people, please, I'm asking you guys to hit that like button, share the video, and if you're new, subscribe. Also, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section. And one thing I have to say as well, people, to the Jamaican folks living in the country, living in Jamaica, hope everyone is safe. I've been looking at some images, especially down St. Elizabeth, and I kind of feel like enough people take this hurricane for a joke thing. Them way there, like them not understand the seriousness of the aftermath. People's livelihood being destroyed. House, whatever the case is. I saw a video where somebody in 2010 they built a chicken coop basically, or chicken farm, or whatever the case is, and That was in 2020. So they had a business, and then the hurricane just come and take it away. You get me? I say, and this was in Manchester. So it just sat still. It really sad. Schools as well being destroyed. So hopefully the government can get some funds and help everyone as soon as possible, because you have the new school year coming up in September. So schools that are damaged, they need to be repaired or whatever the case is. So hopefully everyone in Jamaica can, in their respective communities, can make an effort to go out there and use manual labor to help Master Joe, or if the school asks the community to, like, yo, we can help and put on the roof, or just whatever the case is, like, people can go out there and help.
And I
So
guess the one thing I wanted to add to that is that the hurricane, it's not like we reach in September where hurricane season finish. So this whole thing of, oh, we're all past it, like, people be very vigilant. Like, this could be a warning. I'd never want it to happen, but we're in hurricane season, and it's going to be from, we got one at the start of hurricane season, and another one can come. So
this is the start of the hurricane season.
yes, hurricane
That's
season
right.
ends September. So I don't
Wow.
know. Yes, so this whole thing of, oh, we get through Beryl, and yeah, Beryl can be one of three. So
But
that's
I
a-
just tell.
The man say one of three.
You just tell, bro.
Hey, but listen.
You just tell.
Listen, I'm just glad to say it over and done with. They get me, I say, and let's keep it that way, maybe Dylan have some relationship with Bird or something that,
Him well wants
But
to call me, man.
listen, I kind of want we take a full 180. You see me, I say? Yeah, people,
Full on it, dog. We got for the straight line, bro.
people want to take a full 180. You see me?
Fatherhood, bro, it has changed my life completely. Like a full 180.
Yeah, like a full 180. As well,
Full
Kyle Butler say,
180.
people, I take a full 180 right now and go into the next topic. Like,
Yeah,
straight into the next topic, people. You see me, I say? But listen, people, Kyle Butler do a big body interview recently. I believe, like, it was a day ago. You get me, I say? He talked about music, Leon Bailey, him taking a break from football back in 2019, I believe, right? He also touched on the recent Copa America campaign for the Reggae Boyz team. What else he talk about? He spoke about Leon Bailey's move to what club was it?
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen, when they were at Genk. And to be honest, people, he said some very interesting things in the interview, right? And I mean, a lot of you guys, I know that you guys will be sharing your thoughts in the comment section, right? But let's keep it respectful, people. You get me? I say, at one point, Kyle Butler called the English-based players, quote-unquote, rejects, right? And personally, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I know say Butler,
Why?
well, listen, I know say Butler kind of share the same sentiment as Kyle, and even in the comment section, enough people are say, yo, the apple not fall too far from the tree. You see me, I say? And if anything, in the interview, me hear Kyle say something in the interview where Butler did say recently, I say, yo, Jano, the man just say word for word, just like him father. You get me, I say? But the first interesting thing I would want to get into, and first of all, big up Ballard as well. But the first thing I want to get into that was really interesting. Kyle Butler went on to state in the interview that he gave up his contract, right, so that Leon Bailey could move to Bayer Leverkusen, not Bayern, Bayer Leverkusen. Kyle Butler stated that he gave up his contract so Leon Bailey could get the move to Leverkusen. Now, that's quite interesting. For some of you, it's news. Dicanio, I know that you want to share your thoughts surrounding what Kyle had to say in that particular moment, but before I get your thought, or get your thought on that, let me just play the clip for you guys.
I mean, you said something a while ago though, but the first really I hear that you say you had to give up your contract with Genk so that Leon could move to Leverkusen.
Yeah, because remember I had another 2 years there in Genk. Leon had another 2 years, but Leon wanted to move to Leverkusen immediately. Not just Leon, everybody. I wanted it for him too as well.
Yeah.
Right, so in an attempt to keep Leon, they were like, if Leon goes, then you have to give up your contract as well. And
them doing an ultimatum like that?
basically, yeah. So I definitely, I always want the best for Chippy. My brother, me and him grew up together. And me and him go through the journey together. So me want the best for him. And without bottom eye, do it. So that's the least.
Just like that. I mean, you said something a while ago though, but the first really I hear that you say you had to give up your contract with Genk so that Leon could move to Leverkusen.
Yeah, because remember I had another 2 years there in Genk. Leon had another 2 years, so but Leon wanted to move to Leverkusen immediately. Not just Leon, everybody. I wanted it for him too as well.
Yeah.
Right, so in an attempt to keep Leon, they were like, if Leon goes, then you have to give up your contract as well. And
then giving an ultimatum like that?
basically, yeah. So I definitely, I always want the best for Chippy. My brother, me and him grew up together. And me and him go through the journey together. So me want the best for him. And without bottom eye, do it. So that's the least.
Just like that.
Just like that, people. The man, basically gave up his contract so Leon could get the move to Leverkusen. Now, Dicanio, you have the floor, so share your thoughts.
Bro, something just not add up for me, dog. Like, bro, if you are good enough, no club now tell you say you have to give up your contract for your next player go through the door. So all of this is just waste chatter for me. All him have to do is just come out and say that he was not good enough and he got released. Because make it make sense. If you are good enough, no team now cancel your contract, no matter if a next player they were good enough. Right? It just make no sense. Especially a Belgian team. A Belgian team, they mostly make a lot of money off of sales. Right? They develop players to sell them and move them on. Right? So why would they give that ultimatum like where the youth from Baliard say? It even shocked him too. Just because I respect him, the first way my interview maybe even not press it too much. You see me? But even the way how him respond to it is like, what? That them hear that? Like that don't make no sense, bro. Just come out and say you're never good enough. Or if you never want to say that, then you can just say, yo, your heart never there in football or something. But bro, the man it seem well, I like use the word because people love use it for a week, but it seem bad mind, brother. You see me? Like why you have to say you push him through the door? You don't push nobody through the door, brother. You're not ready. But you ready?
Let me tell you, let me give you some information surrounding it.
It's the baller that he is. He's always been a brilliant football player. And the way how much I've make it seem in an interview is that if he never pushed Bailey through the door, then he would have there him there today, which is absolute bull.
Let me tell you what actually happened. Genk wanted to keep Bailey for at least a further year to get more for him, right? Before he would have moved. But Butler and Bailey wanted to move to Leverkusen. So Genk basically said, you see if Leon left, then you have to go find a new club for Kyle. So it's not really and truly like them give Kyle the ultimate decision to say, yo, is that they give up your contract and make Bailey move or whatever the case is. You get me? I say? It's just like with a Mbappe scenario. Bro, them never really want Mbappe brother them way there. You get me? I say? One truly is Ethan Mbappe. If he was really good enough, PSG could have kept him. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the case where, Mbappe left, whatever the case is, them don't really want Ethan Mbappe because he brings absolutely no value to the club. It's just like a Kyle Butler. If Kyle Butler was in a different situation where he was like a next star from Phoenix Academy, then he would have probably remain a Genk or probably still would have had a football career to this day. You know what I mean?
And want to take the comment here, come see Max City, big up yourself. You say that's a lie. Mbappe brother had to leave once Mbappe left. It's not far-fetched. But Mbappe brother is still playing football. Where Kyle Butler do after him left Genk. Zine. But more take the comment here. Shaban, big up yourself. Both players were married. Genk wanted Leon, but could only sign him if they signed Kyle. That kind of makes sense. And looking back to it right now, I think that's the reason why him feel like Craig Butler felt as if the same thing when him do a Genk, him could have come in at the Reggae Boyz national team and do. I say, yo, it's only one, is a package. You see me? It makes sense if him think it did work in Europe, him could have come here and try to make it work in the national team. Zine? But at the end of the day, what I am saying is, at the end of the day, Ethan Mbappe ain't as good as Kylian Mbappe. So even if you want to bring that up, Max City, Kyle Butler is not as good as Leon Bailey. So, bro, when you reach a certain level and when you're a certain caliber of player, certain things people just never can use or just never can say. You demand your own thing. Why have one have to be a package? The obvious reason why it's a package is because one is clearly better than the other. And the reason why they are presented as a package is because they want to tail on the other person. See? So any which way you want to look on it, bro, if you are a quality player like Leon Bailey is, see, you'd have never been in a situation like that. You wouldn't need to be there in a package. They would have just see the evident talent that is there and just need both of them. And there wouldn't have to be anything of if him go or blah blah blah. There just be two different people and two one could get two different moves and get could be successful and one could be successful. But he was just not good enough.
Dylan, you have no
No,
thoughts?
No, I think it's so interesting because I enjoyed watching the interview because I don't know if he struggles with, well, he talked about the fact that he struggles with mental health issues. And when I've watched any interview with, Craig Butler talking about Phoenix Academy and the mentality, it just don't really add up the never say die attitude. But I feel like him just couldn't tell him son that, yo, like, you're not as good as Leon, but you're okay. Like, it seemed like he was okay enough to play like Division 2 or Division 3 football. But I think at the end of the day, I feel like jealousy could have played a major part in this whole situation. Because if you're looking to compare himself with Leon, the profile, the physicality, the height, I guess the height is a big deal for you. But I don't really see what, Kyle was bringing. And so when he's talking about, because it's not like he said, I had an amazing debut for the Reggae Boyz under 23. He said I played okay, so I should have gotten another game. None of it is adding up to make me believe that he really believes in himself that he should have gone. Right? And the fact that him and Leon follow, why would you follow with Leon? When do? Like, when would you? Like, he really didn't do anything to the man. All he did was go ahead with his career. So I think his father, I don't think that beating him was okay or abusing him was all right. And but I'm just like, at the end of the day, if Craig was telling him, yo, you're not good enough, right? And your father is the first person to tell you, I didn't even see the comment. But if your father is the first person telling you, say, yo, bad man, like, why you give up on football? The fact same give up on football, the fact that when we hear anything about Leon Bailey, who's a fantastic footballer, Leon always believe he's the best. It don't seem like Kyle never say I was the best footballer. Kyle not have that kind of mentality. So I don't really know. I don't really believe him story. I don't know why he's still talking about it. At the end of the day, he could be the best agent. And that just be
No, and to be honest, before we get Siobhan on, right? You see, in life, there's always that dynamic where, as the biological child, you have like the outside child that you would adopt, right? And normally, sometimes that outside child typically does better than the biological child, and it can cause a friction. You know the way they. And I believe Craig at one point or throughout Leon's career was giving more attention to Leon, seeing that he was the best out of the two. And as a biological son, me would feel away.
better, Kishan, dog. The
Better.
better of the two.
How many say a while ago?
You said the best, dog.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
The
fam.
better of the two. So, you don't make him man feel away. But Siobhan, let me get your thoughts around this.
Oh, wait. Hold on, Presser. The thing that kind of shocked me that he spoke about. Sorry, Siobhan. You see, when he was talking about the whole whisper situation, and he was like, yo, it was so good for me to be exposed to like the inner workings of talking to Chelsea and watching the games. I found that very odd. Because if he was supposed to be a part of the whole Aston Villa situation, it wouldn't be new. So that clearly means that the way that they fell out means that he wasn't even involved in the process of helping Leon to get to Aston Villa. I don't know if
did Kyle say he was involved in that?
No, but it sounds very. Why would it be shocking for him to go?
Remember at one point after in the fight with him and his father, them did away, before them come back together. They were away and Bailey never really a deal with him. And Butler never really a deal with him. Something that Dylan talk about. I remember how the timeline stay. I don't remember if that was around the same time where Bailey did have him move to friggin' thing. But at one point, him did just freeze out a friggin' Phoenix. You see me? Until them make up.
Big up yourself, Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Yeah, bless up them on them. So
I actually saw the interview today, and it was quite interesting to hear Kyle's side of the story. Um, I knew about the rift between him and Leon for some time now. I never knew it was that petty that it was still going on. I thought after both him and Kyle had, after both Butler and Craig and Lee and Kyle had gone back together, I thought both him and Leon. But he made a comment today that I think, based on how I know Leon, the type of person he is, he may probably find that offensive to say that if I never me, you wouldn't go Leverkusen. That's a very that's a very I don't think that was a wise thing to say if you're trying to repair a relationship with Leon
Crazy.
based on how the player is. But it just goes to show that the whole group over there, they think they're a bit conceited with everything that they do, in my opinion. They think that the world revolves around them. The way that he spoke, everything that they do, it just seems as if the world revolves around them, and it doesn't bode well. Even the way that they're talking about the other schools and academies in Jamaica, they put them down. Said, but this Kyle Butler thing, was really messed up, and to hear the comments, to hear him come out and call the players rejects, that was a big surprise, and I'm not gonna lie.
He's the
Kinda
biggest reject, not true. Him father reject him.
Yeah, that's why I'm have a big old stab on him man up to this day. I wonder if it heal all now. But hopefully hopefully the players don't take it to heart. I hope Leon doesn't share the same statement as this, cause if he does, then it does say a lot about the entire team over there. I know Craig has some feelings towards some of the UK players because I think he wants to have more Phoenix players in the national team, especially Kyle. Because that was the whole thing. A lot of persons don't know that. The reason why Leon never played for Jamaica, but then it was the same thing that they did with Genk. They basically tried to marry Leon with Kyle, but they didn't want Kyle, so Leon wouldn't play. So when Leon did play, that's when Kyle got called for the U23, and he made a mess of himself. So, but it was a very distasteful interview to some. He did say some things there that was eye opening, but for the most part, it wasn't something that we would all say, hey, it's good to just throw out there like that, because it was very disrespectful to the UK players as well.
Yeah, and the Bailey one, as I say, knowing Bailey, I mean, I think him I got take too well. Because I believe, as Dylan said, Bailey has been somebody who always kind of believe in himself. If you look at vast majority of his interviews, he always say, listen, me did always work hard, whatever the case is, I play from young, and whatever the case is, him work hard and him put himself in this position. So if Kyle kind of word it that way, if he say, me give up the contract, as if his gang come to him and say, well, Kyle, Leon wants to move to Leverkusen, and if you give up your contract, then you could get the move. That wasn't the case.
Exactly.
So I mean, I think Bailey are going to really take on to that too well.
Man, basically, I say, yo, I mean, let you through the door, yeah. If I never, you would get me through. You see me? And that everybody see that and knows that's crap, bro, because him can't touch Bailey shoes, brother.
And you made a very valid point as well. Let's say Genk didn't want to renew the contract or wanted to cut the contract because Leon was leaving. If you were that guy, as what Sir P said what day, if you were that guy, it wouldn't be difficult for you to find another club.
Exactly.
But I think the card that Kyle played in addressing that is him they just have faced too much criticism, and basically that's why I'm give football a break. And him say if
that's a part of being a footballer, though, not true.
Well,
if you want to take up football as a career and become a professional, and even Craig Butler himself say him love for both and say him preparing players for every single aspect of the game. That's one thing where Craig Butler always talk about in interviews. Every time I prepare my players, both not only on the field, off the pitch, my players are never homesick. Then him always mention everything else in teaching how to cook, clean, iron, everything. So why was that an issue? Why him reach that far if not being able to manage the pressure? did I come down upon him that hard. I thought he was fully prepared based on how him father talk. You see me?
And it's so interesting that he never describes. I've never heard an interview of Craig Butler calling Kyle the best. But he's the first person to call Leon the best footballer. He's going to be up
No
there with
man,
Messi and Ronaldo.
he has said Kyle is the greatest passer. Remember,
Yeah,
Craig
man,
come
he
out
said
and
that.
say,
He
remember
said
Craig
Kyle is the
came up.
greatest.
Yeah, remember that he
Wow.
said Jamaica's greatest midfield performance was ever, Jamaica's greatest midfield performance at all level was
Eh?
Kyle Butler
Yeah.
15 minutes in the Olympic qualifiers. He did come
Yeah.
out and
Oh,
say
okay.
that.
Sorry. No. I stand corrected. I do remember that.
Yeah, man, a madman in the medicine. Man, have some interesting takes, bro.
But Chevron, big up yourself. Come on, play some
Ah.
more clips from the interview.
All right, yeah, man.
Yeah. So, as Chevron even say, I feel like that I got rub Billy the wrong way still. But to continue, let me play one more clip. Well, we have a few clips. So one thing I want to get into, right, is the England rejects coming. So let's get into that one.
Yes, for sure.
Why are we getting embarrassed at all age groups? We're not developing the players. We're working off natural talent. And when the natural talent is not good enough, when they reach 18, we go for England-based players that are rejects.
Let me tackle it quick and fast, bro. Because even him, the moment him say it is like I want it to come out and him knows him about to say something where he's not supposed to say, bro. That's why the man say re. The man say re, and stop. And then it's like him and say, John, no, that I don't say it already, so I continue and go through. But no, brother, you can't want to come see that dog as a reject yourself. That's the first thing. See? And bro, I understand, like, I don't want to say I understand, but for certain players in the national setup, we can't look on them and call them an England reject, bro. Because some of them don't reach nowhere in them career yet. And some of them, they haven't done what we are accusing some players of doing, holding out for England. And if that no work, then them forward and come Jamaica. Those players being Karai Anderson and Dexter Lembikisa, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old player who has pledged allegiance and say, we are going to play for Jamaica from day one. Zine, a player that is playing in one of the tiers of England, Zine, and has the talent to move up, and a player that is currently contracted to Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League. Him go out to Hearts and have a brilliant season with Hearts. I think they're going to be playing Europe next season, Dexter Lembikisa. So if you are going to come and you talk about England rejects, bro, you completely undermine the players, bro. Especially those two who pledge allegiance from early and dedicate them time and them craft from early. Them never said them away from England. And if you look on it, Dexter Lembikisa in the position that he's in, him very young. Him could have said, him a wait, him a work hard, him a put in 2, 3, 4 years try breaking at the Wolverhampton Wanderers first team. And who knows, one good season at the right back position can have him in England camp. But that in mindset never did so. The man say, no, Jamaica, more play for. This is my heritage. England him grow. I don't know if him born in England, but England him grow. Zine, you call him an English player through and through. The same for Karai Anderson. But Karai Anderson say, no, Jamaica, me I go play for. And I'll do interview a big up Jamaica and all them things, bro. So you can't say you want to come take up and I come call them and them rejects, bro. A big disrespecting that. Which part of them are rejects?
But let me just
hold on, at least let me have the balls for go and play professional football. And the balls for make them own way for come and can represent them national team instead of depending on other man for falling our package deal. Like it's a love man thing. Which package? My man for go piss off with that man boy England reject. And you're the biggest reject. He's a Jamaican reject.
Let me just address this comment, right? Are in her, I say it, or honor, whatever. The English players are not rejects, just not good enough to represent Jamaica. I not really understand the comment there. Reason being, you know what the Copa America, more so the Euros. You know what the Euros are showing us? If you look at Turkey and a lot of these countries that went deep into the tournament, right? You know that if you look at vast majority of these teams, right? The players were not born in those countries. And who were the standout players for some of these teams? The same players that were not born in that country. And nobody over Turkey now say, yo, he's a French reject, this is a German reject. Everybody have praised these respective players from those countries that went deep into the Euros or the Copa America. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you look at a team like Turkey. I was watching a video and some of the standout players in that Turkish team, they were born in different countries. Some of them were born in France, some of them were born in Germany. You know what I'm saying? And some of them don't even speak the respective language. You know, and I think Jamaica is probably the only country that we class players as rejects or whatever the case is.
Well, I think they're only rejects until they have done something bad. So if Saka did kick with the penalty or never scored a goal yesterday, I think we'd be having a completely different conversation. But I get what you're trying to say still.
Yeah. So we kind of need to stop this thing. Some of us need to stop this thing in terms of referring to these players as England rejects. And the funny thing is, not everyone will make the national team for England. Not everyone will make the Argentina team. There's only so much and no more. If there's a tournament or a competition, they can only bring what, like 23 plus 24, 26. You get me? I say? And sometimes as a player, you have to be realistic. If you have two countries that you can potentially represent one out of the two, then sometimes you just have to say to yourself, and you're not saying you're not good enough, bro. But sometimes you just need to,
Bro, I just laugh averages, brother. A simple maths.
yeah.
If you have 10,000 football players in England, only 26 of them can make a England team out of 10,000. So I just simple maths. It's not even a matter of not believing in yourself. You see me? Sometimes you might even want game time. You might even look at the politics where they the freaking thing. Or you just might be just connected to this country. Even Demarai Gray, he has said it. And we are going to see with this Mason Greenwood thing how long it will take for them finalizing documents he represent. Because Demarai Gray said it take years for him documents get sorted out. What was the reason for that? Him around 28, now about 29. And him say it take years for him document to be sorted out. Him didn't want it to be sorted out. So it look as if him never really, it look as if him just want to do it now. And it forward. When him actually do want to do it 2-3 years ago. And the system just take a whole lot of time to get completed. You see me? So you don't know. Mikel Antonio wanted to represent Jamaica in his career. And we reject him.
At championship
We
level.
rejected him at championship level. So why when him reach Premier League level and has a shot of England, that he did get selected to the England team, it was just a matter of, I think he was friendlies and he never did play or something like that. And every time when he was supposed to get called up, something happened, whether I'm injured or something. If we reject a player younger and him get the chance to represent England, me can't fault him for that. And now the man say, all right, I'm going to come back. Because obviously he can't represent England no more. And obviously he's quality and he can add to this Jamaica team. So him say, may I get over that? May I come back and represent? That means say he's a reject. He literally was selected for play for England. So you ever call that man a reject? But people need to just easy themselves, dog. Especially
The only point I'd say that he made that I was like, okay, that's a good point, is a part of the youth team where he said that there are no collective youth team players playing together, and him said that him and Alex Marshall were the only ones like he was going to implement this.
Yeah, but even that don't make sense because what you know, that team that Kyle Butler is talking about, right? Where are those players right now? Those players can't play in the national team. Alex Marshall, by the stroke of luck, he got into this national team. Kyle Butler could have never make it into this national team, as well as I don't remember all the players from that team he's talking about. But
yeah, but that's an issue. Like you can hold your hands up and say, he made a solid point.
Yeah, but you have to be playing at a certain.
And then back it up by saying that we're getting rejects. That don't.
But hold on, you have to be playing at a certain level to be included in the national team. You get me? I say so. Even though you represent the country at that level, you also have to be playing at a good level, and providing that you're talented for the national team, then you will get selected.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. All I'm just saying is the man made a point, and I say, well, good point. So no, let me picture it this way. I'm sitting down on my bed listening, and I'm just like, yeah, man, good point. And then the man said, but these England rejects. And I'm like, why would you make one good point in this whole 30 minutes of my time?
But hold on,
and then you're going to call people rejects.
But let me even say this. I guess he contradict himself because he talk about natural progression from youth teams or whatever the case is. Now, I don't know if Richard King or Kaim Dixon did represent a couple of the youth teams, right? Maybe Kaim Dixon more so. But if you're talking about natural progression in the national team, you have the goalkeeper from Mount Pleasant, you have Kaim Dixon, you have Richard King, and we'll say have
Adrian Reed Jr.
and probably have a few others, right? So you have players that from the local league, they're in the team now. You know what I mean? They might never play under 20 or whatever the case is because a lot of these players are different ages, kind of within the same bracket, but years apart. But still, you still have at least 45 players from the JPL that is in the national team. And these players are players that can hold their own on the international stage.
But hold on, Percy, you're kind of contradicting yourself now. Because
Oh.
if you talk about the France and the Turkeys and whatever, don't
Mm.
all of those players go right up the youth system? That's the point. He's just saying that you have to go through all the stages of the youth system to go through the national team. And he's saying that there's no avenue because at the end of the day, he's just trying to say that Phoenix, the whole Jamaica team should be Phoenix players. So he's saying if they represent at all levels, they should be adherent to the team. I don't think it's a crazy statement. But then you can't go and say that. Like he should have expanded on that issue. If he's an agent, he should have said, I have these 6 players that I think should have the opportunity. You don't go from there and then you start calling people rejects. That don't make no sense. Like you get what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm saying Kaim never plays. So, despite Kaim not playing, my point is that you still have players that make it into the national team from the local league. Somebody said Boza. Yeah, well, yeah. I
Just
said
make
one man
it-
rubbish, another man treasure, and even that as well. I think, bro, if you look at the group of players that England have in their possession, right? If majority of them say for example, them have like Jamaican heritage, right, bro? Enough of them would take. Like if now Morgan Gibbs White, are you going to call Gibbs White England reject? No, it's just that England have a Jude Bellingham, a Phil Foden, a Declan Rice, Conor Gallagher, say Calvin Phillips that play. Like them have quality players across the board, bro. So even if Garrett Southgate no call up a man, brother, like it's still like these players are still quality. You know them with it.
Mhm. We
And you
get
have
the
to
super
come
chat.
to the opportunity to get these players while Gareth Southgate is the manager. Because if he's our next manager, him good like just call up people to get the 3 caps and don't give us a chance. But anyways, the super chat.
Even Emil Smith Rowe, if Emil Smith Rowe could have played for Jamaica, brother, would have take him right now.
No man, best believe Smith Rowe is punching ear right now. In good they look back on it and say, oh Jano.
But does he
Um,
have 3 caps for England? I don't think so.
No,
No, man.
it's not only 3 caps. It is if you have 3 caps that are friendlies, but then also if you even have 1 cap that's in a international tournament, then you can't switch allegiances.
Oh wow,
So
okay.
if you have 3 caps in a friendly and they were friendlies, then you can make the switch. But if it's even 1 cap in a major international tournament, and I think he did play in the Nations League for England. It was the Nations League that he played in, so he's no captain.
Yo,
Yes, I
as
mean.
we said, if you look at a lot of the countries across the globe that went deep into these respective tournaments, they have players that play for the team and they were not born in the country. And nobody's saying, oh, you're like a reject of this country or whatever. Like once you're talented and you play for the country and you help the country, then everybody give you praises. If you play bad, then I'm gonna go say, yo, you're not playing good. You know what I mean? Like let's be honest, bro. Who are we as Jamaicans to be calling anyone rejects when we want our players to make it to the English Premier League? A lot of these players play either in the Championship or in the English Premier League, and we want our aspiring players to make it to that level, and we have the audacity to call these players that's playing for Jamaica rejects. Come on, bro.
But
Well, not we, but
Yeah, I'm
man,
saying we.
yeah.
Oh,
So
go ahead,
we-
Dicanio.
I'm
But you get the Sean Sutherland, big up yourself. Nothing is wrong with the system. Them just don't want the better players. Think them JPL players are too good. All right, big up yourself and thanks for the super chat. I don't really get what you said here so fully though.
Yeah.
Maybe try resending it. I don't really get what you say fully right there. So
no, not
cause of the
resend the
time.
super chat, like resend a message.
No,
Yeah, the message.
I would
Yeah, resend the message one. But big up yourself, you super chat.
But we have some more clips, so I want to get into this. So let me just but before that, they can just tell them to smash up the like button.
Yeah, man, guys, just go ahead right now and hit the subscribe button, like, share, subscribe, smash that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we do post videos. Also, we haven't been posting a lot of pre-recorded videos, but you can expect to get those pre-recorded videos on a regular every single morning, 7 a.m. You can look for a pre-recorded video from both 433 Presser and Gunners. So if you're on 433 Presser channel right now, go over to Gunners, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and if you're on the Gunners channel right now, just go ahead and do the same thing. You see me? I want movement. We could just grow together. The aim is for we want to get to 3K subscribers. by the end of this month. So just help us to get there. And also Presser, I think him there around 1.5 right now. Him want to get to 2K subs. So just go ahead right now and help us, help the movement. We love the support. A whole lot of you guys are on the stream right now. So big up on yourself and let's get the show.
Yeah.
Good.
And it pertaining to this interview that Kyle did, right? Let me just take some comments from the comment section on this video. So I recognize Dream Chasers 3483. Good interview, keep building. Somebody else said nobody can make me hate Kyle, great youth. This person said Butler's son, same like the toxic daddy, sound just like him, the man. It's like them have a vibe, like them have to rule everybody and everything. Somebody said great interview, no negativity, and Express said England have 1 million ballers and this youth talk England reject, very disrespectful. Exactly. England have so many football players, it's like so much and no more can make the national team and be in rotation for contention in for a specific position. Derek Allen said him can't play. Somebody said why so many negative things towards the youth, Jaja. Somebody said cheap no fly, far from the black. Somebody said, oh, Kyle the successor to Butler, madness. Do not be like your daddy. He referred to Leon Bailey as being a leader in this national team, and somebody said that I don't see Leon as a leader because I think Kyle was talking about how Leon Bailey help out players from the national team as well as staff, and more address that too as well, right? Because Jamaica is like a third world country, whether we like it or not, right? Whether we like that branding, but it is the truth. Now, bro, if me and Messi for my team, right, and a respective like staff member from the federation fall to me and say, "Oh, yeah, Messi, said, oh, picking them want a shoes and thing. I mean, me help the man buy a shoes for him youth. What is that to brag about? Like me help people, you know what I mean? Like, if the JFF pay people $300 a week, then I just that them get paid, and you just have to work within the confines of how much you get paid a week or a month or whatever the case is. But if you come to me now and me can help you out, I may help you, then it shouldn't be nothing what me try to use for bash the JFF. We say like them now pay people good or whatever the case is in any job. Like, bro, some people get paid so good to the point them still thief money. Me see people that work at NCB and them place they get $10 million a year and still thief $78 million. You get me? I say it's just that's just life, bro. But I feel like the music feel like bash the JFF make it seem like you must pay the people them more or whatever the case is. I mean, bro, that's just business. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure now say Messi and them people they help enough people and will work for federations, etc. I'm not really hear Messi them come out and I say, some help my spot by 2 pound of chicken back or whatever the case is put on stove. When I hear that from them people, you get me, I say, bro. So if Leon Bailey help people, then fine. But I think you need to like it's something that needs to be talked about. Like me help this player or like me help this person from the federation. Like just leave it at that. Like the way that we will see the work. We big up Leon Bailey recently when him got to the Bustamante Children's Hospital and him do some work, him donate some money as well. Like we will see the work. The way that. But just take some more comments from the video and we'll get into the other clips. Somebody say your father make it difficult for you, which is true. Somebody say Leon is a reject. The English players show more respect to Jamaica. People them, I guess you must say the English born players them show more respect to Jamaica compared to like Leon Bailey. This man say not even can play ball. This person say you're never good at football and you know it. But let me get into the other clips so we can get some more thoughts surrounding Kyle Butler's recent interview. This room issue now, him talk about the room thing. You get me? I say.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get into that one.
If you're gonna travel 10 hours, right, and you get roomed with maybe an 18-year-old, and the 18-year-old is playing music until 4 a.m. You can't get any sleep at night, right? Why can't you request your own room so that you can perform at the highest level? If you're gonna travel 10 hours, right, and you get roomed with maybe an 18-year-old, and the 18-year-old is playing music until 4 a.m. You can't get any sleep at night, right? Why can't you request your own room so that you can perform at the highest level? If you're gonna travel 10 hours, right, and you get roomed with maybe an 18-year-old, and the 18-year-old is playing music until 4 a.m. You can't get any sleep at night, right? Why can't you request your own room so that you can perform at the highest level?
Well,
Yeah, bro.
I can.
No, I want to go first. Remember, really you want to take this first, dog.
You got
This really want to take, dog. This really want to take, dog. This really And this
No,
me
bro,
what
hold
us with
on.
Let's
No,
calm
that, you should yo, host, press up, please,
Yo,
please.
Yo, calm
Uh,
see
I'm
that.
not the host, you know.
Calm see that. Watch your
press
step.
up,
I'm
press
tell
up,
we
press
tell
up. I'm gonna
Kishan
leave
before
that stream, yeah, press up.
we
Ah,
say
watch
I
out,
think
watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out,
you see
watch
me.
out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Make Dylan go through. Make Dylan go through the gate first.
Thank you,
Ah,
thank
go on.
you. You get going, bro.
Get me out of my
Bro,
point you're taking up.
No, but
Alright.
you took my point 2 times already.
Got
I'm
you, got
saying
you, got
if
you.
Leon is a leader in the dressing room, him can't
Ah,
tell
you
18-year-old
man.
just shut it off. Bro, what kind of leader must you be? You can't tell a man to shut off the thing. Bro, it don't make any sense. If Lionel Messi can share room with somebody that him be even close to, it's not like Demarai or Otamendi that have a tattoo on him, right? Somebody him there with it since the lower levels. And then you're telling me you can't say the man shut off the music? Why would you be playing music until 4 a.m.? Why are you in camp before a game at 18 years old, not listening to leader, Superman, Jamaica, biggest thing since sliced bread? It don't make that. When I saw it, I was like, John, or you? Like,
Whether the person is 18 or not, you get me? I say, I'm not really, I'm not saying now players were indisciplined and them thing there now, players were like cross line, but I kind of find it hard for like look into this national team and think you'd have a player sharing the same room as Bailey and I play music till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. You get me? I say,
Bro, they
but
are
as
all
a
liars.
professional footballer, why would you do that?
Brother, they are
Why?
all liars. Make we look on it realistically. Because realistically, who are the 18-year-olds that were in this team in the same period where in the United team?
That's a good.
Right? Now, first of all, Kyle Dixon and Liam Bailey never yet they in the same squad together. This year, Kyle Dixon start playing for Jamaica. The only recent 18-year-old we can see who did not play in the national team was none other than Dujan Whisper Richards.
Good point.
You see me? But more which 18-year-old that them a talk about make up bag of nice and at the end of the day, Zine, remember say I'm not saying it is Whisper, I just put 2 and 2 together here. So I don't want nobody to look for me and say, yo, me I say a Whisper I talk about. But if we just use simple common sense, Zine, just saying, suppose I did Whisper or any 18-year-old at all in the national team, you just call Leon Bailey a leader of that team. So as what Dylan said, why you as a leader in a big football team setup, see a 18-year-old play music when him suppose we have match tomorrow or we have training tomorrow, and you want to sleep and you want him to share room, and I tell that man say you need to pack up and go in bed, brother, as a senior man in our national team. What you tell me say?
and it's an example still.
Yeah, it's just an example. I'm not say it's him. You see me? It's just an example. Well, what I say is an example that if there's an 18-year-old,
Maybe. Like, so yeah.
bro,
Whether
certain
18,
things, bro, when you go up on interview and say certain things you know use as example, dog. Because you are directly talking about a point, right? That Leon Bailey made, which is contributing to the reason why he is not in the national team setup right now. You're directly talking about that point. So you know, come and loosely say things like an 18-year-old. You know, loosely say things like that, bro. If you're gonna say something like that, it has to have some level of truth to it. Right? It's very specific the way how him say it and what he said. Because if he had said it was an experienced player, it would have been completely different. So him saying an 18-year-old, it obviously means that even if it's not a literal 18-year-old, it suggests that was a young player or someone that didn't have a whole lot of experience with the national team or someone that was inexperienced. So at the end of the day, nothing changes. You just call the man a senior man in the national team, right? A leader in the national team, and you're telling me you're a leader and there's a young player in the national team where I watch or I play music till 4 a.m., which I find it very hard to believe, till 4 a.m., and you want to send that man in bed and tell him, say, oh, we have match of mine or we have something on where you are to go your bed. We are telling me, say, brother, if me then in my own age group as a leader in the teams that me playing up, and people with my own age group, me can look on and say, oi, a time, and then respect that. Why couldn't respect you? Somebody will play for Aston Villa, somebody who is a senior man, as we Kyle Butler say, in the national team, and someone who is the best player in the national team, which was said by Jaime Hallgrimson. Why wouldn't that young player listen to you if you tell him go in bed? What kind of leadership that tell you? If Pepe look on Fabio Coensaro and tell him, say,
And
hey
lock
boy,
that
hey
out.
lad, we don't have that and guy bed, we have much morning. In a Portuguese.
People look at him.
The man can look at Pepe and say, no. Where you come tell me, say, brother?
So let me play about the clip. Let me play about the clip.
If you're gonna travel 10 hours, right, and you get roomed with maybe an 18-year-old, and the 18-year-old is playing music until 4 a.m. You can't get any sleep at night, right? Why can't you request your own room so that you can perform at the highest level? If you're gonna travel 10 hours, right, and you get roomed with maybe an 18-year-old, and the 18-year-old is playing music until 4 a.m. You can't get any sleep at night, right? Why can't you request your own room so that you can perform at the highest level?
Bro, and one sec as well.
You building?
See somebody here say, bro, I see somebody here say, Kyle said, for example, at
Weird.
the end of the day, you are directly talking about something. Zine, you are directly talking about something. An 18-year-old doing something is different from an experienced player doing something. And it has Leon Bailey as a leader can react in different ways, right? Now, as I say, even if you say, for example, an 18-year-old, it doesn't necessarily mean that it was an 18-year-old, but it means that it was a young player. Because you saying, for example, means that you are trying to make a point of the realistic situation, right? So, him saying, for example, no means it's an 18-year-old, it just means that it was a young player. See? And again, 4 a.m. in the morning, which professional player do that? Unless he's clearly not professional. And to be very frank, the only person that comes across as not professional, out of everybody who means to play for this national team in the past year or two, is anybody who represent Phoenix. Gone father, and now see me again. Jail, Jamaica, do nothing for me. And then this way the brother ask, I come say again. Bro, I just fax me a talk.
No, I agree.
Pressa, what you have to say about it? Because you know I escape from this.
Yeah,
that be a top chat him up, Me I get for realize when we in a group, yo, watch me on Kyle tomorrow.
Keyboard badness.
Yo, you know long me a wait on this. Yo, go pan.
No, you might say.
No, but hold on, wait. One question before you go, Pressa. Where exactly did he say, for example? Because unless I am deaf, I never hear.
No,
for
you never
example.
say example. That's why I'm saying. Him say maybe. So him never literally say for example. Him say maybe. That's why them using the maybe.
So then, when is it that we have never, as Jamaicans, when somebody say maybe, take it as very literal? Or is this just a new thing where, okay, Jano. But
But
go ahead, Pressa, please.
Go through, Pressa.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bala. We not hear you, Bala. You are punking punk out in my side. I tell you, say, I be
Run from war.
you see how same time me da come on the channel and tell me say, yo, me kick him off on MG channel.
Whoa, what do you mean about No,
The man fought on the channel and say, but me kick him off on MG channel. I'm Wi-Fi a kick him in on my side. You would Wi-Fi always a kick him.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, we are hear you.
Jano.
Mic check. People wanna call in and make we hear what we have to say on this situation.
But it's funny when the person say Irish Saxons, they kind of go through the comments while and fix up anything.
Yo.
Yeah, bro. Talk to man.
Loud and clear now.
I hear you now. Man gone again, dog. When him have a spotlight, bro, tough chatting with you.
Man just run from the war.
The man want to run from it, man. The man want to run from it. Speaking of media, why didn't Leon Bailey simply ask to change room? This brother shake my head.
No, but it should just be in general. That should just not happen. You shouldn't have a change room. Good.
Yo, we have to just use what was presented, So clear, bro. Just generally speaking, two are we intelligent? Three are we intelligent? Three are we go to university? Three are we graduate from prestigious high schools in Jamaica? Bro, if you're saying, for example, or you use something as an example or as a reference, you have to be very specific with that example. You can't just say something vague. Because if you look at it like this, an 18-year-old doing that and an experienced player doing that, I will get two different reactions from Leon Bailey. So you can't say, for example, or you can't say maybe, and then you have to say an 18-year-old. We can look at it and we can say, maybe it wasn't exactly an 18-year-old. But what I will take from that is that there was a young player or an inexperienced player that was doing something like that. You see me? And it, bro, it evidence certain things when saying this, he would have take back.
And there's nobody at the highest level that if he's talking about Lemby or Carrera Anderson, they would not be up until 4 a.m. If you go through Wolves Academy, and I don't know where Anderson played, but none of them would be doing that to their body. That would make no sense.
I'm
So
gonna see.
none of it adds up.
I'm gonna see Lemby or Carrera share a room with Leon. Like you share a room with your friends in our camp. You see me? Me sure Lamin Yamal him say must share a room with you. Iñaki Williams or something like that, bro. So precise back my side. Me could see if him. Wait, say I mean kick you, bro.
Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, man, we hear you.
No, Kyle Butler just calling people. But you're messing now. You see, pertaining to the situation, people, especially the last clip that I played pertaining to the room situation. The thing I'm not like with Craig and Kyle and Leon them is that whenever them speak in interviews, like them leave things like that. There's more question than answers. You know what I'm saying? And really and truly, are them supposed to provide the answer so that you can put things to bed? You know, whenever the interviewer asks you a question, you know, sometimes you leave things to question still. You know the way that you leave it in the air. But I guess they live for the controversy, and you know, no publicity is bad publicity if you look at it. You know the way that. So I guess, you know, people continuously talking about them like us here at Gunners and 433%. I guess it does well for them in the footballing landscape, you know, because you know they have an academy, they have a management team, etc., etc. So the more you talk about their players, then it kind of benefits them, you know. But the room situation, you know, listen, player share room. When I see a problem with player share room, if it is the case where somebody was playing music loudly, then all you ask for a new room or whatever the cases are. Bro, players should respect authority to the point where if somebody senior talk to them and say, yo, bill off for the music, then them supposed to bill. You get me? I say, and if I look at the characters within the national team, I really can't think of anyone that would have done such a thing unless it's like a stupid 18-year-old. Because I look at Damian Lowe, who is a captain material, right? He has leadership qualities. You look at Andre Blake, you look at Bobby Reed, you look at Demarai Gray, you look at Mikel Antonio, you look at Shemar Nicholson, you look at Corey Anderson, Casey Palmer, just to name a lot of these players. Like, you know, these are really, really top professional players who they do have leadership qualities. For a lot of them, if you look at them at their respective clubs, you know, they captain their teams some of the times. You know what I mean? So, I really see one of them I stay up till like 4 a.m. or I play music up till like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever the case is, you know. So, yeah. What you have to say?
We'll make our point 30, you know, what the next clip for wrap up.
Kanye East said, brother, we don't have no clue how athletes live and operate. Damian Demar said, what answer did you all expect? Una make beef out of nothing. Robert Berg said, Phoenix Club is a soap opera. Bailey is what? Dulcimina. I won't even say again.
I think somebody from, you know, I'm not gonna say nothing though.
I think it's a Jamaican show, don't?
I don't know.
Oh. Take some more comments. People, you can call, drop the link in the comment section. Chevron Pierre said, Damian Nemart, so you are gonna ignore my question. Killer Green said, that's a stupid analogy or example he might use. So who used one analogy or stupid example? We have somebody on the line. CQ, big up yourself.
Big up.
Hey, what's up, man? How you been?
Good, bruv. How you doing, bruv?
Yeah, man. In regards to, I'm calling Quest.
Oh, all right, big up.
Oh, big up, man.
Yeah. In regards to your arguments, what about when that guy is at Freaky Mondays or Dolly's crops that he goes to? Isn't there any music there
But that different
disturbing
still.
him at
You
that
see,
time?
to be fair
Me
to
no
Billy,
want
that
bring
different.
that. Me no
Yeah,
want bring up that, but that's not in a professional setting. That how when he's off, you can do whatever you want late in the night or then because you see. That how when we're in a professional setting now.
But
See?
on the contrary, he left for professional settings to go into unprofessional settings. He stole out.
Mm.
So everything comes together.
The
And
response the response from
and
their camp
mhm.
once though, before we make you go off. The response from their camp was the reason why he left was because of the music and all them thing that him couldn't take. So him leave the hotel room to go to his place so him could get rest. That was the excuse that they made for the reason why he left. So then they said like that's a Craig Butler. That's what Craig Butler them say. Them say him leave because him couldn't get no sleep because him they play one mother music. So him leave the hotel, go a him place, forget rest, and so come him end up miss the bus the next morning. So that was the
well,
explanation from their camp before you move on.
well, as you said um, earlier, um, the only 18 or 17-year-old unprofessional player at the time was must be Whisper, because Whisper would be the only one who do something like that.
That's all.
Yeah, because he's the only one at that time was in the team who was not a professional player. He was just a high school player, academy player. He wasn't professional. So he must be talking his own people. I think they're just throwing out something, what if,
And it's
they're not credible.
And it's
They're
highly
not.
likely as well that both of them would be
Yeah,
sharing route to as two
yeah,
Phoenix man and them things. So
yeah.
sometimes that's why I'm love to take what these people say and really look at the realistics. Look at instead of us talking broadly, make we look on what was happening. Make we dig deep into what was happening in the moment. See that specific time, if you look at the squad, the only inexperienced person or 18-year-old or any young player where you can really look upon we would have a share room with Bailey at that time. How is Pop?
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So,
I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure.
but I don't think no one was disturbing Bailey. I don't see Bailey as a guy. He say he's a party guy. I don't see him as that guy who music. I think him himself maybe do that thing because he's unprofessional. Even though he's a professional player, he have attributes of an unprofessional guy. Yeah,
Makes
and
sense.
we need to just move away from Bailey.
So you
And
think we should move away from Bailey fully from the national setup?
yes, there's no reason why we should take him back. When it comes to representing your country, you can't just be looking on your country, as your little friend, man. This is your country.
Mm.
It should be an honor to play for your country, even if you're playing for Cayman Islands, say a low-ranked team. And I was born in Cayman Islands. You think I would want to play for Jamaica? Unless I would get a better opportunity of like playing for United States. I would rather to play for the country of my birth.
Mm.
Yeah, it
All right.
should always be an honor to play for your country. And he claimed he's our best player. But yet you disappoint us. This guy should be the one who we look up to, man. This guy should be our go-to guy.
Mm.
Yeah.
One more thing before we let you go, because we have another call, man. What you have to say about the other topics as well? Because we also discussed Demarai Gray's interview I don't know if you caught that section, but specifically Bobby Rees move to Leicester City. What do you think about it?
Oh, Bobby Rees. Oh, that's a good move. I didn't want him to go back down a bit. He's getting a little bit old, and it is good to know that you know he can move to a Premier League club. You know, it's not every player at that age can reject. According to reports I heard, he reject their offer
Yeah.
and get into another team with Demarai Gray. I wish he come back to England. Because I don't think that communist state is working out for him. It's not everybody can live in those places.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But
Big up
yeah,
yourself, yeah, go
I didn't
through
get
final.
Hmm?
Yeah, go through, make a final point.
Oh yeah, that's it, man. You guys, you need to get into it again. You and Mr. 334 Presser. I love when you guys quarrel, man. You sound good, But yeah. But apart from that, and the Mr. Perfect guy, the light skinned guy, yeah. You guys know what you're talking about. But only Presser, I tell him to leave Mr. Antonio alone. He's the best. He's the best player we ever have, and
Yes.
he supports a good team, the best team ever, Manchester United. That's why I like him.
Definitely. And people,
Yeah,
you see, where I get
yeah,
Zersky, Dylan,
Manchester United.
This
No,
time I thought Colin Quest was an Arsenal fan. You disappoint me, fam. Disappoint me.
what you call
You.
the next player?
Colin Lyon still. Colin
no,
Lyon.
no, 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 no. I don't just support a team because they play good. I have to have some some connection to the team.
All right.
Manchester or Trafford. You know what I'm saying?
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
But
man. Let's stay on word
yeah.
still. Big up still. Where I get on
All
the
right.
next call.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
all
Go.
have a good day. All right.
Yeah, man. Go.
And people,
As well.
before we get to the next caller, right? You see the recruitment that United is doing, like massive recruitment. We're going to win the Prem next season. But Marcel, big up yourself.
Big up yourself, Boswell. Why pre? Boswell. Alta Boswell. That remind me of one client from there one time. I call that man
Yo,
thing.
be careful. No, I didn't think so.
Alta Boswell. And that name, yo, bro, if the man name Alta Boswell for real, bro. If the man name Alta Boswell for real, dog. Sell me your house now. You know how long me I call you, brother?
Yeah, man,
Long time me I call you to get the deal
probably
wrapped
have
up.
3 more years, if not time. But Boswell, you hearing?
Yes, I'm hearing you. You
Yeah,
hearing
big
me?
up yourself. Which club you support, by the way?
Well, I am a Manchester City guy. I'm I'm an old school guy. I tried, to be honest with you, I was like Liverpool for most of my life coming up. And I was actually following Raheem Sterling around. So I kind of was split between Liverpool. After Sterling leave Liverpool, I kind of leave with him.
So why not the Chelsea now?
Chelsea, that would be biased, to be honest with you. That would be biased. So
Bias how?
in the sense that not really biased, but Chelsea is just not my side, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Chelsea's,
Yeah, wagonist, but a selective wagonist.
well, that's what my son called me sometime, but I just love to follow Jamaicans around, I just like to keep in the Jamaican spirit. But I have a question.
Yeah, got
all
you.
right, let me tell you a little bit about. I'm a coach. I'm a coach. I am no big time coach.
Okay.
I am no big time coach. I'm a FIFA coach, but I used to coach from under 17 down. From under 17 down. So I kind of come in like an MG to a point. I don't have the full knowledge, but I have some knowledge. So I'm not gonna come out and say I'm a coach. But a question that I wanna ask in with regards to um Bailey and the room situation. Because the reason I mentioned to you that I'm a coach is that I coach in the US. I live in the US for quite some time and I coach here. And there are some times that our youth, players from our youth get called to represent the US. So we have to travel with them. So I live in New York and then I would have to travel to California because that's where the trials take place.
Mm.
And of course, there's a time difference between New York and Cali. And of course, sometimes when you land, they are not catering. They are not catering to say where you're coming from. They are catering on their time. And if I generally we carry like 3 or 4 players, and if I carry 3 players, most likely ballers kind of unruly to a sense that they wanna have. If a man comes in the room, sometimes we not afford everything, not because we live America, and so we go down there with intention and say we're gonna get 3 or 4 room. But when we look on the cost and say, boy, after the trials we wanna do this, we wanna do that, we kind of bungle up in a one room. And honestly, I don't bungle up with them. I go in a different room, and then I get complaints that this guy and I don't want to sleep, and the senior man in the room take charge. Right now, with that said, that's a folly excuse. But a question that I want to ask is this: I actually am driving, so I can't look up anything. So the question I want to ask: sometimes in 2017, when Jamaica was seeking after Bailey, didn't Bailey did not want to play for Jamaica, right? We are overseas. We were thinking like Bailey was trying to get into Belgium or even England. They might try to do something to him. Bailey did not. I think if my memory serves me right, um,
Yo, Slaffy there?
Basil.
But just to answer that, right? It was around 2017, 2018. I remember the last time we're here, or a couple live streams ago, I played the clip where Craig Butler was basically stating that England is interested in Kyle Butler as well as Leon Bailey. And we know that that was not true, basically. Well, maybe true for Leon Bailey, but definitely not Kyle Butler. You get me, I say?
I
So,
I
yeah, go ahead.
I understand that. The point I'm trying to make, this guy was never interested to play for Jamaica.
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, then
Never
again,
ever.
him said Jamaica fight him out. So, to be fair
Oh,
to him, why
Wait,
would
hold
he be
on,
what I'm
first.
interested?
saying,
Let Boswell finish. I feel like
what
him getting somewhere.
yeah. The point I am asking,
Yeah.
right? The point I'm asking, I have two kids born in the US.
Okay.
And one of them I'm gonna tell you, is a very good soccer player. I'm bred from a man at 8 years old, and Mr. said the man can butt out. I start to encourage the man, say, yeah, they are representing us. Sometimes he ask me, Dad, where's yard? You see, I'm not trying to tell a man, say, look, represent Jamaica, it would be a very good thing. You would get the chance to play till you retire.
Right.
Representing US, you're in and out because the competition is higher. You want to get some place. Why Craig Butler not teach Leon Bailey these things? All that is happening right now, what we here in the US talking about when it comes to Bailey, and we don't like to talk to it a lot. I like to listen to you guys lobbying over it to keep my Sunday evening going. We just come from church, we just come out of the pulpit, you see, and it keeps me the Jamaican vibe, the quarreling. One evening I was even upset with you guys quarreling because we couldn't get a point across. But I love it. But what I'm trying to say, Jamaica is a little island that we're full of pride. We're full of pride. This guy never wanted to represent Jamaica in the first place. What he does, he used Jamaica as a stepping stone to get where he wants to go. And he feels now like he's some form of a millionaire, and he's going to play Champions League, and he's going to do this. Jamaica Is so he's just trying to step back on the little island. He never wants to represent Jamaica in the first place. If Jamaica was like, if it was like athletics, he would have switched. He just wants to be in the spotlight. He just, because a lot of things that Butler comes out and say, Butler is not Bailey. Butler is Bailey's agent. And so what Bailey should have done, need to do, is to come out and just point blank say no. Or turn up a train and I'll say something. You know, I have managers. So in my soccer league, we had like what we call a soup for the league. And if him go out there go publish something about me, I denounce it. I call him and tell him, say, no, I didn't say that. I'm not going over to that club. I'm not playing over that club. I'm playing with my club. And he have to just accept that because he does not speak to me. He does not speak for me, sorry. So this whole saga with Bailey and Room and this, all of we go to school. All of we go to school. And we write essay. And sometimes we make up something to make it so nice. All of these things is just that he's going to face a backlash in England. There's no doubt about that. He's going to face a backlash in England for not wanting to represent his country. Go back and look on the article. Bailey refused to pledge allegiance to his country. I remember that off the top of my head. I'm telling you, because I will want this man to play for Jamaica so much.
And let me just say this, right?
Yeah.
There will always be a difference in somebody being born in Jamaica compared to someone having Jamaican heritage. Now, both parties are still Jamaican, right? But you go through two different situations. Like you share two different cultures, right? So with me, I can tell you this personally, 100%. If me born in Jamaica, right? Well, me born in Jamaica, but if I was in the situation that Bailey was in back then, I would have declared allegiance to my country to represent my national team. There's no way me I go for England and them place and say, you know, more I go play for England or Belgium or Germany. But I mean, if you come from them place, the Batman, me see what Jamaica go through in terms of the lack of success on the pitch. And I'm a standout player for my club, right? I was being picked in the Golden Boy, whatever the case is. But I mean, want to represent my country. What may I take up myself gone over USA and them place for? Yeah, man, say?
That is the exact point I am trying to make. Demarai Gray, Anthony, them come quarrel about field. Them come quarrel about hotel room. Man, you a million, you go rent a hotel room if you want to rent a hotel room.
Rent a hotel?
My last point, I came to Jamaica. Right? I came to Jamaica on business. And the hotel room that was given
Well, let
to
me just address this, Carlo. Dancer hit this. Bailey didn't want to play for England. It's Belgium. Press up. Pogba and Moore play for other country. Well, Pogba was born in France. Pogba was born in France, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pogba. His parents come from a different country. In terms of Bailey, Craig Butler, 5 years ago, stated that England, he must get text message or email from somebody from the English FA being interested in Leon Bailey and Kyle Butler. He said that. Go ahead now, Carlo.
Yes.
Carla, back to the business.
yes,
I'm following the story in a
remember-
Carla.
Yes, so I remember that article like yesterday because I was disappointed in the article. You see, I think I was traveling from one country to the next, and I saw the article. He wanted definitely to play it for Belgium because I think he mentioned some Belgium girlfriend. I don't, it's 2017, it's almost 6 years or 7 years now. So, but the point I am trying to make is the silly excuse that they are put into. It seems like we down in Jamaica, so to say, we don't have no sense. You are an international superstar, how you put it. And in England, paparazzi that run you down like a crazy. Okay? They make millions of dollars out of that. In the US, it's the same thing. And you go complain, say your own countryman, I go take your photograph, and it might come choke you.
But Carla,
No, I'm just making a reference to what Craig Butler stated concerning people coming up where there's no security and taking picture, putting cameras or phone in Leon Bailey's face. That's how.
no, the point that I wanted to ask you about, because I felt like you summed up all the things that I've been trying to say so well. But the part about England, I want you to talk about that a little bit more.
I am the point about England. I don't believe that Butler meant at the time that Leon Bailey wanted to play for England. That's not what he meant. Sarcastically, what he was trying to say is that I think Bailey was in I can't remember the team that he was in at the time in 2017. You guys follow it more than me. Probably you
Was
might
it Leverkusen? Leverkusen.
yeah, yes. And so he wanted Bailey at that time to move to the Premier League. And so when he mentioned in the article talking about England, he was, I believe, and I'm assuming now, let me put my language correctly. This is my opinion now. My opinion was that
Again?
there was getting some indication that some club in England was interested in him at the time. So when he mentioned England during on the international stage, he was not talking about Leon Bailey wanted to play for England. He wanted to come out with it to say this kid is now going to be going to England to play Premier League. When he mentions Belgium, remember they have already spent quite a few years in Belgium and they had a lot of connection with Belgium. Again, I believe that Bailey had some girlfriend or something in England, so in Belgium going on. And so they were looking into that possibility of say, could he get married and get a citizenship and represent Belgium? And that was my big confusion. So why hanging on to Jamaica's shirt just in case you don't get to the big league what you want to get to? And I believe that that's where right there and then that's where the Jamaican Football Federation make the big mistake in trying to marry in somebody who don't love you. I believe that Bailey never wanted to represent Jamaica from 2017. That's my belief. Even though in 2016 he
Well,
played.
let me say this, because I have a next call. I'm going to wrap up here. To be fair to Bailey, I have a strong opinion on Bailey, but I'm not going to say him never want to play for Jamaica. I'm not going to say that. You get me? I say,
But why? Why? Butler is his
yeah, but
agent,
I
and
don't
Butler
really
is the
speak.
one
I
who's
don't I
coming
don't
out and
speak.
saying these
But the
things.
thing is, Craig Butler is speaking on behalf of Bailey, and yes, some could say that Bailey should have tell him not to say this, not to say that, whatever the case is, right? But to be fair to Bailey, Butler always state that he's his own man. Me just now go far for state on a public platform that Bailey never want to play for Jamaica. Now his actions might say otherwise, right? But me just now go say he never want to play for Jamaica.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one
That is too
question.
strong for me. Like, Bailey would have to tell me that himself.
Yeah, I agree with to a point, but let me ask you one question, and then I make way for the next caller.
Yeah.
Do you believe that if Bailey had an option to represent, and we know money involved,
Mhm.
involved. Jamaica is a poor country, we know that. But do you believe that for the love of soccer, not for the love of the money, right? For the love of soccer or football, excuse my soccer because the America so long.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But you can still pass it. Yeah,
Yeah.
coach.
So for the love of football, if Bailey had the choice to choose between Belgium at the time and Jamaica, not for the money, but for the love of football in Jamaica, because the only country who love football like Jamaicans are Brazil. For the love of football, do you believe that Bailey would choose Jamaica over Belgium?
Dicanio and Dylan answer. I'm not gonna take them.
Ball you the man asks. We had fling upon Dicanio and Dylan for. Man
Yeah,
asks you a
no,
question.
just a run from the war,
Just
pressure.
that's the man them call it
All right.
50-50, youth.
All right, for the love of football and the success that it would probably guarantee, then Belgium.
Okay,
Okay,
pressure.
fair.
Well done, pressure.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I
All
mean,
right.
if you want to say that, I'm still
All right.
not talk for Bailey. You get me? I say?
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks.
man.
Yeah, man.
And
Big up yourself,
So,
Basil.
Basil,
Every
you have
everyone
to call
listening.
back
Now
again,
listen.
Basil.
Listen, let me say this in getting off the line. A lot of people, so you might see me listening right now, may have a vehicle full of people, and some of them don't understand soccer, football.
Yeah.
A football them in. And so listening to this from Jamaica is much better than me to try to tell them what going on in the yard. So it is entertaining to us. It's just sometimes they mother ask me, what person say? What Why him take
Yeah,
so
man.
long to talk? Everybody, plus everybody, I look for you. I don't know why. I don't know why. And then when I ask the question, like, him say, what bro mean? I say, brother. And we love one another, so we say, bro. You know?
Yeah.
So we listen to the program and we enjoy the program. May I try to encourage everybody to subscribe for themselves and stop listening to mine. Because
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we want everybody to subscribe. So what a new slang. Big up yourself. One do I do. Big up MG and the crew and everybody. Thanks for keeping us updated.
Yeah, man.
Have a
Yeah,
good
man.
evening.
Yeah, man. Every time. Big up
All
yourself.
right, good.
Bless up, bless up.
Also big up to MG Sport. Is it Sports? MG Sports TV? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that commenter before we get the last call on, right? You guys claim to be about Jamaican football, but spend little time talking about the elephant in the room, the JFF and their corrupt ways. And let me just say this publicly, people. You see, anything that involves corruption and involves any organization, I would be very careful in terms of how I talk about specific issues when it surrounds corruption. I'm not going to come on a public platform and state that the JFF is corrupt or whatever the case is.
Approve.
Not on a public platform, because at the end of the day, me not have no money to pay nobody for no lawsuit. I do not have it.
At the end of the day, bro, we have to have proof, brother. Certain things
Exactly.
you just need proof. There are certain things where you have opinions about. Like this. This is an interview. You can have an opinion on an interview. Right? But certain things that relate to corruption, if you don't want to make me brawling, if you don't want to make a video and if you want me to put it out there, me are telling you this, Dicanio, you know, present the information to gunners. Email is is all over the place. You don't know what IG, you don't know what socials, right? Present the information and we will break it. We will. But you can't tell we say, oh, we need to talk about corruption, but we don't have any proof about corruption, a different type of
I wish I can share my opinion on the JFF in the sense that I don't feel like they do this right, or I can say that they got this right or this wrong or whatever the case is. But once it involves any form of corruption, I will not publicly state that the JFF is a corrupt organization. That's a line that I do not want to cross. You know what I mean?
And firstly, you just have to make people understand it's a bigger vision. Because if we want to get certain people on the show, then we have to get the facts before we even talk about it.
Exactly. And the thing is, we did, just before we get on Giovanni, I did a poll once. If we were to get Michael Ricketts on, what are the questions that you guys would want us to ask? And we barely nobody answer. You see me? We want to see we get Dr. Davis on the other day. We have some other people in the pipeline. So when we have them polls there and we put them things up on the community, you know, respond. And that will give you the motivation for go out and get the interview. And best believe we're going to ask the questions that you guys want us to ask. So we just need for just cooperate and just make we know what we ask. You see me?
All right, Giovanni, big up yourself. What you have to say surrounding the specific topics today? Hello?
Giovanni, mute, man.
Your mic is muted, Giovanni.
Giovanni da Silva, you have 10 seconds, baller, because we are in the show. Like him gone.
But yeah, but people, like how everyone is here, please go ahead and smash that like button. I think Gunners, they're like 18 likes away from like 100. Them supposed to hit the 100 mark now. For some reason, the people them not really rate me that much to give me the likes. You get me? I say so. The people them some too. Somebody referred to me recently as the Donald Trump of football.
Wow, Jano.
Listen, I take it as a comment in the sense that I prefer to speak my mind. Not going to try to disrespect anyone, although some people say I kind of disrespect people in the past. I'll try my best not to, but kind of take it as a compliment still. I'm rather speak my mind than not speak my mind. You know what I mean? I probably just have to kind of polish it up in terms of how I bring across certain
No, man, you're not to polish up nothing, brother.
in terms of certain words that you use, because it can offend certain people, you know.
We not polish nothing still. That's just me. But everybody that's on the Gunners channel, how much on the year now? But we are going to end the show now. 161 of you guys. You enjoy the show. It's a collaboration. You see me? So if you are on the Gunners channel right now, just go over to 433 presser. That's 433 presser, exactly how you're seeing it on screen. There's no space between the 3 and the P. So just put all light in one on YouTube search engine. Type it in and go ahead and subscribe right now and like up the video.
And I have 152 viewers right now. People, 47 likes. I'm asking you guys, I am imploring you guys to get the video to 100 likes. So just stop what you're doing, people, on this wonderful Sunday. The weather is nice outside. go ahead, smash that like button. Also, one of my brethren who is normally on the show, Smurf, him not really have no internet connection right now. Well, he have internet connection, people, but he was impacted by the hurricane. I'm just want to say big up to him, big up to all the St. Elizabeth people,
Yeah.
the bread basket parish of Jamaica that supplies over, I don't remember the percentage, but a vast majority of the food in Jamaica, it is from St. Elizabeth. So I want to big up to those people. As I said, I saw the images and the videos surrounding the destruction, and it's kind of, well, not kind of, it is sad, you know, and I hope Jamaica, we can recover as soon as possible from this hurricane that impacted the island, as well as the other islands as well, because I saw images surrounding other Caribbean countries, and you know, probably they've been impacted worse compared to Jamaica. I mean, I don't really care about who impacted worse. Everybody is impacted because people lose them house, some people lose them life, whatever the case is, and it's a sad situation. So just go ahead, people, as we say, hit that like button, and we'll take the last caller before we end the live stream. Giovanni da Silva, big up yourself.
Wagwan Chief. Big up to the panel. Big up to the family. Gunners, Wagwan, bro. Alright,
Big
so
up.
for me personally, you know me a Liverpool supporter. You know, me now nothing against Arsenal. Me say that from now, nothing against Arsenal. Man U can't stand a Man U, none tal. That can just go on. But
No, I got just that,
on
but
a
go ahead.
personal note, when it come to Leon Bailey and all of that, like really and truly, where's the love for football? And it might seem as if like it's getting a bit personal when it comes to injecting personal feelings and stuff like that on my part. But I love football too much, especially Jamaican football, where I'm tired of the constant criticism and person just talking about this player and that player. It should be a unified thing. It should be a family thing. For the past decade or so, it's always about somebody to be blamed about football. If I'm not Craig Butler, a JFF, if I'm not that, then come down to the players, them like, what happened? And every time, the last time I talked about this, when it comes to Jamaican football, would have been on MG channel. And I don't know if anyone now look back at 2004, the first time Edson Cavani actually came into the National Stadium. You remember that Uruguay versus Jamaica match? Wonder if anybody realized, oh, the Jamaican players them actually take the game to Uruguay. Chevanton, these players never have even the chance to circle on a ball. No, where is that quality? Where's that quality when it comes to playing football? Nobody can take the time out to look on that. It's always about something to be blamed. Me personally like to put myself in person's shoes and say, all right, this man have a reason for him attack or him attack and vent and stuff like that. But me tired of the constant reasoning, this nonchalant kind of reasoning when it comes to those blaming, it just not make no sense. It sure can blame at all time. Always. If my video come out and them a talk about camping and the players them a prepare for upcoming matches, whether the World Cup matches they go here say, oh boy, him and this a person you know agree, or you know I perfect example, Ravel Morrison. When Ravel Morrison was coming to play for Jamaica, everybody has said, yeah, the team is going to be better, this, that. Yet still, a video came out, and when the video came out, I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe it was Andre Blake who was say, someone behave as if like say, yo, them alone for make certain plays in the team and stuff like that. I understand that. Yes, yeah, Vento, but at the same time, what are you going to do to make it better? If you work for a company, them always ask you in an interview, what can you bring to the table in order to uplift this company to make it better? I don't think, and this is just my opinion, I don't think none of these players look on football like that. It's all about talking about, yo, me I come from the ghetto, and boy, I fight hard to reach, wish for me reach. Yes, but don't you want to be better? There are stages. If it was the fact that a lot of us were just born and then by the time we reach one, we don't go college, then everybody down bright. Everybody down be so intelligent to the point where the world would be different. Maybe in a Star Wars kind of format right about now. But the truth is, you have to start from basic school, primary school, high school, college. So everything takes step. Everything is a stage. So if you start out and you play in the National Premier League, and you left from here, so you end up by the MLS, and for some reason you perform well and you decide to end up in Europe, That's wonderful. Now, all that talent and all that knowledge that you have acquired, when you come out to the national team, how do you incorporate it as a player? I strongly agree when the previous caller called and was explaining that when I see how um you have leadership quality, but yet still a man. No, I think it was Dicanio who they say. You go in a room and a man a go play music up until 4 o'clock in the morning. Come on. Me agree with you right there. Say, yeah, you're supposed to stand up and tell a man, say, yo, go to your bed. If you need to go to your bed, go to your bed. But you see, like these guys are just literally playing football because what? Them don't have a name already. The last time any big discussion like this would have came out would have been other than on Nandilo would have been that big news with Marlon King. You remember Marlon King back in about I think it was 09 or 10 season thereabout when he made the big jump to Wigan Athletic. And within a week or so the man got a nightclub, Tom Powman and was blocked. You understand? And Marlon King is a dangerous piece of striker. When I would say striker. Look back with any game that Marlon King has played, El Salvador, Guatemala, you realize once that ball touches his feet, either one or two more touches and then it's a strike on goal. And 90% of the time, he's hitting the target. So you tell me, you call the Bibi Gardner, Luton Shelton, Fuller, these guys came from the JPL. Well, back at that time, Red Stripe Premier League and literally make it overseas. German intelligence is another. So what happened? Where is the love for football? That is just my big question. This now have nothing to do with the player themselves. Where is the love for football? That is just it. And then for me, as a youth, I love football to the extent, it's my time I wish me have some of them money skills. Like really and truly. I wish me know all my brethren, we know the money, but the money know that somebody in a JFF and then could I even get me in a team. Because really and truly, even goalkeeping me that be right about now, just for sure. Because these guys are not embodied the sport. It's all about just knowing and say, oh, all me need to do is look on the tutorial like when I play FIFA and we say X for pass, box is square, or for shoot. And they use the analog and do whatever figure you want to do until you can maneuver itself. I don't want to be that kind of support of a football. And clearly I am not. But if the man them ever talk about football, they need for the better. Yeah, go on.
I'm just say that because I'm gonna wrap up now. You see, in sports in general, in terms of the love for football, it's not only football, but it's the love for sports in general. I think sports, the dynamic has shifted to more of a business side. So that passion is no longer there. Even if you look at the NBA, I know like whenever I try to use the example of NBA, people say, oh, stick to football. But what I'm trying to say is, when you have a player who comes out of college, right, and his first professional contract, his first rookie contract is like, for example, 100 million over the next 4 years. What do you expect from this player? You think this player is going to sacrifice his body for this organization? It's only 1 in a million or 1 in whatever thousand that makes it into the NBA that will eventually be that superstar despite the contract that they're on as a rookie. And it's the same thing with football. It's like a lot of these players, they earn a good living from very early, leave the academy, whatever the case is. So there's no passion to really sacrifice your body anymore. And do I wrong them? No. Personally, would I do it? Maybe. Because, to sacrifice your body, bro, when you retire from the game and you reach 35, 40, and you have hip replacement or all these different surgeries like the Roy Keane and these people, it's not an easy thing. And a lot of these young players looking at these type of things, they don't want to go through that, Would I want these players on my team? Definitely not. So I think that's the answer to your question in terms of
I just think the mindset. It has a lot to do with the mindset of the entire world as well. Because
go ahead.
Yeah, because back then, even man like Christic, all right now, Sealer.
Yo, let me see if we can get an extra 10 minutes with this. Go on.
Yo, seal, bro. Yo. People, somebody as much really Christy can't come on in CR7. You see me? So yeah, even Christy, look on all of them players back then. Them did have to work hard to get what them have. And even though Christy end up rich, the man still have the mentality. to go on because him just come from the stage they are, the generation they were. Them just want for work. You see me?
And that is it.
The
And
generation,
that,
yeah, they when we get things easy, everything they write at our fingertips. So if
and
you
that
just
is
do
it
it,
because
if you just do
sorry.
it very hard to say, yo, we want to put in the work. Because why we are work? Right? Why we are work then? If you just give it our fingertip, we not need for work. But for the older generation now, when them been did that for work, when them have it now, them want to continue for work. You see me? Because it's inna them. Even though them rich already and them have it already, it inna them finna stop work, bro. So I think it's just a mentality shift with the entire world, or majority of the world, especially the western side of the world. It's just a big mentality shift, and it just now go ever. It, when I see it shifting, it just gonna get worse, to be honest.
And that is just the sad truth about it. Agreed, and that's just the sad truth about it because even the other day I'm listening to an interview where Thierry Henry there do when he actually got sold to Barcelona. The man said when he arrived there and Pep offer his tactical, mechanism to how the game should be played and stuff like that. And his response in his mind was to say that I'm Thierry Henry. Do you know how I played and stuff like that? Like Thierry I tell himself, say, yo, I'm me the man. Like you spend how much money for buying me and stuff like that. You don't need to tell me how to play the game and stuff. And he said that Pep was, I wouldn't say was, but still a brilliant coach. But at that time, very brilliant to the point where he said, all you need to do is to always be in spaces. And if anybody watch Barcelona when Thierry Henry was there, yeah, maybe never get, the long extended time that he wanted and stuff like that. But you realize that the game played with such fluency, him show up at the most important or the critical time them and score a goal when called upon at all times. And this is what I'm saying. I agree. Say yeah, it's all about the mindset and things taking business turn right about now and so. But really and truly, if this continue and this game, it's not going to be the love of the game anymore. It's going to be the love for the money. And that is
It
just
already reached it already reached a level, to be very honest. Even Marcelo Bielsa come out and say the other day that
exactly. Me read it too. Me read the same article too. Yeah, man.
the money and the driving of the money is going to deter. Because I'm telling you this personally, guys. Not because I see me do this. Dicanio, Dylan can tell you, maybe personally know me that good from when I'm little. You see, just like when you say I love football, brother, you see from in high school, brother, I would watch football from morning till evening. You see me, bro, mother just watch football in every league, watch women's football, watch academy football, watch football in Japan. Brother, I just love football. But then I'm in a space where me I do YouTube, right? And anybody will see this, say we take YouTube seriously. We do have a personal life, we have a jobs, but we also look at this as a second job. It's not a side piece thing. So we take it seriously and we put quality work in and we do quality stuff. We put forward to you guys, right? So if we are putting so much time and effort in, it becomes a job. So now talking about football, the way we used to talk about football, it's different. Because when you do something for money, it just I fall out of love. You see me? I'm telling this right now. My evil Euros I play what day, I'm there, I work from home. I'm there on TV right in front of me and it's like, I can't watch a match, but I just even want to watch Euros. And Dicanio 5 years ago, you'd have never see Dicanio 5 years ago. No one watch a Euros match. No one watch Copa America. No one watch anything else. Dicanio 5 years ago, bro, that would never happen. But no, I just fall out of love with the game because everything where does happen, it just football just not differently. And it draining, dog. I'm telling you, bro, as I say, nobody 5 years ago would have think they would have never want to watch a football match. If it the right time, fingertips up, you can watch football match. No, brother. But right now, as I say, Euros a play what day, I'm not watching a game, bro. The only reason I watch them last two semi-finals is because I hear my friend them in a group and say a match at me. Say, I'm going to just jump on and see what's going on. And the match them actually captivate me. The two underdogs them did a win. I'm going to say, all right, I'm tuning in. And then the two big teams them end up come back and win. You see me? But even watching the Brazil match last time, I said, dog, I can't the Brazil want to say me and support. What wrong with Brazil football? Let me a little boy, me watch Brazil. But yeah, make we get the last caller. CR7.
Yeah, man. Blessings up on the channel. And thing. They listen from the channel start and thing, but only reason why I call him, just call him for just the business part and the aspect I like. When we see Jamaican developers as finding footballers and the youths, them, you know what I mean? Me actually like that now that enough because Jamaica had a lot of talent in football, you know, but they never really get market and push out there like that, you know. Like a man never get $100 million contract in the 4 years. He never get all of that money there, but when him play and showcase him talent and score certain goals and dominate the pitch, you know, the club will look on that. Yeah, we give a max contract or we sell it to other places and them type of thing. That we never really have that in our football structure. Like enough of the youth them just get lost a bush league. Me and you can count and name a whole list of players that was seen from Manning Cup days that played for clubs in Jamaica that you think they were going to play on the big stage, but they didn't even play on the big stage. But when you say a youth has to work hard, extra hard because him not have him already, I get the money already. It's good same I get paid for him living and him craft, but it's not everybody I got have the kind of work ethics that Cristiano have. Cause Messi was a born gifted player and born to come do this for a living. But Christy had to work extremely hard to get on the level where he depend to be the next Pele and the Maradona type of thing. He made have to show up a training early, he made have to left training late, he made have to do it by himself, he made have to put in all of that work there. So sometimes if a man want to be the best, I just want to be a regular class baller with that make a living, make a career, and then him retire. Sometimes it's all about that, you know. But you have some man just want to be the best, like Ronaldo. Him they want to dominate. Him they want to be the best. We not see that from our Jamaican players. They can say that. We not see that kind of mentality there that they want to be the top player in the world. They want to contest with the Neymars and all these players that we found new talent, which we have the raw talent too. But we don't have that type of mentality there, like a coach that look on both and say, yeah man, go for it, man, go for the record, go for them type of thing there. You know, man, it more business wise now, you know, food that he make a money. But it is for the player himself to like a player need to step up now and say, well, me I gotta be that man because we have countless talent, you know. Look, we had Messi's in Jamaica, youths like Romero and all these people. But them career just fade away, bro. You see it? We could have whole heap of players that sell all over the world to be one of them top scene, they like develop players. That's why I only agree with Liam Bailey if he's not playing with Jamaica. I rate him as a ball and thing. But when it comes to your shirt and your caps and them type of thing, this is when we see if you have the killer mentality. No, I just know say you just a play for a casual ball where you love the sport, you make your thing. But it's not the mentality, you know, because you have ever access to do where Ronaldo do, like leave the pitch late. Do your thing, you know what I mean? You focus 5-6 years of developing your body, develop stamina, develop a craft, a game, all type of thing. Change up your thing, you know. When a man put in them all, you know, see that in a Jamaican mentality as no player, even from a Walter boy and them, none of them with the skill. So that's that me have to say, you know, my brethren, blessings.
I want big up yourselves, yeah. Guys, we have come to the end of the show. Press your final thoughts before we wrap up.
50-50 thoughts now, person. Keyboard badness. Jano, the man.
It's not keyboard badness, it's just keeping it professional.
Yo, your keyboard badness, dog.
Yeah, keyboard badness. My side, he would say, I'm going to forward come lace but line. And I'll know me here, dog, lace but that one.
People, that was a different time, but.
Yeah, yo, crazy, dog.
Keyboard badness.
But I feel like we address most things and we'll cover them good. Also, the callers them kind of add some good points. You know, they made it. But one thing I just want to say, people, been a touch on the hurricane thing, you know. I just want to say, we got to everybody safe and thing, and you know. Yeah, we'll come to the end of it and we'll be here again this upcoming Friday. Somebody was talking about the manager that is being linked or the coach that is being linked to the national job. Honestly, I've never watched any of his teams before, so I have to go watch some videos to give an opinion surrounding his playing style, etc., and look up his track record and success rate, those type of stuff. So I know that he was recently at Al Ittihad. Was he the one that was recently fired? I believe. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go do some research on him and then get back to you guys this upcoming Friday. But once again, people, before we end the show, we're gonna give you guys the outro.
It's time to rise up.